Man, bummer. It's a real bummer. Look at this view. This is the prettiest view. Oh, that's my friend. He's making a weirdo face, see? His little weirdo eye and mouth. It's like a little weirdo eye and mouth, and he's just making a little weirdo face. Saying good morning. Look at that view. The mountains are pretty. It's a pretty view. Well, the footprint company, how do you say this? The footprint company will not acknowledge that an angel verified my identity. And because they won't admit that I'm a dead God, because they won't admit that an angel spoke to human resources, if I take the job, I'm bringing more in curses and death and damnation than anything good. So I can't take the job. Bummer. This is a really pretty view, though, huh? I was going to have a smoke, so I'm going to have a smoke. Decided to have a smoke. The United States was stalking and harassing me like hell. And it's like, you're not going to get money. You will never produce money. You will not get your punishments out of your soul. That's the court of God. Those are the punishments of God against you. Those punishments will not leave your soul. Those punishments will never leave your soul. And it's like, but whatever. So the United States sat and told me nobody loves you and nobody worships you and nobody chose you. I was like, United States, sit the fuck down. Half the world loved Jesus. And it's dumbfounding the ones that love me. So just sit the fuck down. I get it. You can control $1 and a Facebook. Sad for Facebook, if they're making any choices to let you or support you. I get it. You can run around and stalk and threaten people. Or use United States power and force what you want. But don't get it twisted. And fuck off. Half the world loved and worshipped Jesus. And some committed suicide when he was gone. They couldn't live without his powers and his existence bringing them comfort. And it's that much worse when I'm around. But after Jesse Arias, I told them not to worship or love me out loud. So after Jesse Arias was killed by the devil, after a couple people were killed by the United States because they were too good or loved me too much or something, I didn't require anyone to love or worship me. They might die. So now that I can protect people, now that people can think or say my queen, and know for sure that I can protect them, then they can tell the United States to screw off or something, because I know nobody can hurt them. But before I was resurrected, I'm scrambling, trying to be a savior of existence. I'm scrambling in a fight against everything once and for all. I didn't want nobody worshiping and loving me and being out and open about it, because I didn't know what people would do to them because of it. So, I told people not to love and worship me. I told people don't be too obvious. So fuck the United States that nobody loves me, nobody cares. A ton loved Jesus and a ton loved me. I just sit here like a nothing because I'm going to fight with them and fight with them and fight with them. And every day I sit here like a nothing, I take it out on them. And then every day I sit here like a nothing, I take it out on them. But no matter what I do to attack them, they are just convinced that they're God. So this is the sad reality. And I'll just say it out loud. Okay, at the Hitler camp, gods forced Hitler to kill himself. And then they made sure he wasn't going to die slow or easy. And he was only headed to hell. But if you let Hitler keep existing, this is the kind of shit that would happen. He'd get weird in the head. He'd get gross. He'd get weirdly, grossly stocky. and just refuse to act like he's gonna die, acknowledge he's gonna die, or admit he's gonna die. So if God kept telling Hitler he's gonna pay for what he's done, if God kept telling Hitler you're gonna die for what you've done, if God kept saying you're gonna pay for this shit, Hitler would keep laughing and laughing and laughing, just like these people, and just keep believing he's God because I walk around or drive around like a nothing, and just keep making and perpetuating his own death, getting worse and worse and worse. And that's what they're doing. They're no different than Noah's Ark time people or Sodom and Gomorrah people or anything else. They think they're God because they have been able to do too much in crime and say fuck you to God. But it's like, but don't get it twisted. I'm highly worshipped by tons of giants, but, I'm just not telling them to do or not do anything. I'm letting them make their own decisions, but because, I know you can't just walk up and be like, Hawaii, I know you always loved and worshipped me. Make the money for a day. Give me 10%. You can't make people do that. Why? Because Hawaii has to trust the gods through my queen to get the 10% to me. And then Hawaii has to want to produce money all day. That's a lot of money. Do they want the temptation of having that much money? And maybe it might go to their head or something. Like, they have big decisions to make. They can't just jump into these kind of decisions. And it sounds fun to have Guess jeans. When my powers were on Guess jeans, it didn't matter the size or the reality of the pants. You could pick whatever size or whatever was similar to you. And magically, those pants were like dream magic pants. I put my powers on the pants and it would just make your pants the dream of you. And it was like dream world pants. But like that kind of power, that kind of money, that kind of invincibility, it goes to your head. Some people might say, I don't know, I'm going to sit with my queen for a while. Do I want to be that invincible? Do I want that much money where the whole world is buying what I have? I mean, I don't know if I want to face that. And that's what people have to think about. Do you really want to face all that? Because when you have that much money and power and stuff, and it goes to your head, and, maybe they want to think or say, my queen, and talk to the gods for a while about what was it like when Guess Jeans and Cabbage Patch Company had all that power, money, and control, and then all of a sudden it was gone. Like, what kind of shock, what kind of devastation, what do people and companies go through stuff like that? Like, because what if all that power and money went to my head and I did the wrong thing and then I lose it all? Like, would I want to even go through that before I even go through that? Would I trust myself to rely on gods and foresee my downfall or my bad decisions and stay away from those things? Like, people have a lot of decisions to make. But the United States is stalking me through street lights. And now they're saying nobody gives a shit about you. I'm a dead god. They're human nobodies, and I'm a dead god. Yeah, no. That's not even realistic, people. You will be worshipped as a United States by the people that just hate God or just hate me or just hate. But no, for everybody who hates God, there's somebody who damn straight bows down and worships. Goodness gracious. They have become Looney Tunes, man. And it's like, if you can't kill me on demand, on site, you already know this problem's out of control. I'm a very dead, very angry, very hostile God, and I know they did it. They're a bunch of nutty fruitcakes that believe they're God, and they know they're not going to stop. This is only destined for one side or the other to win. And I guarantee you, when you put the punishments in their soul, like me, the only destiny is my victory. These people are out of their minds making it worse when it's already that bad, but it's like, whatever. Just whatever.